Hi, it's the M.L.M for the Soul Channel, and I do have a new topic for today. Before I begin, I would just like to say, may the words and expressions of my mouth and the thoughts and meditations of my heart find favor and acceptance before you, Hashem. And some people I thank have inspired me. I hope they can inspire you as well. I will have links below this video to their sites. They are Rabbi Shalom Arush, Rabbi Lazer Brody, Rabbi Yosef Mizrahi, Rabbi Eli Mansour, Rabbi Alon Anava, Rabbi Yuval Ovadia, Rav Daniel Asor, Nisan Baruch Black, David Sachs, Rabbi Michael Skolbeck, Jews for Judaism, Rabbi David Asher, and Rabbi Ron Uvain. As well, if you've never checked out this channel before, I will have a link right below this video to my first video, and that explains what M.L.M for the soul means, what it stands for, and what I'm doing. So today's topic is going to be short, but very apropos and important topic. So I call this All Identical Maximizes Ahavas Yisroel, which is loving of Israel. And this is from an email from a portion of Kindness by Rosalie Saltzman. So I'm going to read what she wrote, but I gave it a title. And so this is not from the current parasha, but it's still applicable, like I said. So on the second day, Nathanael, son of Zur, offered the leader of Yisachar. He brought his offering. This is from Bamidbar, Parshas Naso. So according to the Midrash quoted in Rabbi Fran on the Parsha, Nathanael ben I don't know if it's pronounced Tzuar or Tzur, had a problem. He was the second prince to bring an offering. What did he bring? He decided to bring the exact same offering as Nachshon ben Amminadav, because he was the first one to bring the offering. All the other princes followed his example and brought the same offering as the other princes. Nathanael wanted to avoid the conflict that would undoubtedly arise if he one-upped Nachshon's offer and brought more. In order to avoid any jealousy, resentment, or competition, he brought exactly the same offering. That idea must have appealed to Hashem because the Torah lists each offering of every tribe even though they were identical. Hence the idea for part of the title, and the other you'll see at the end. Hashem showed his pleasure as well by allowing the Karban Yachid, which is Yachid is for just a single individual, of the princes even on Shabbat, when only a Karban Sibur is allowed, and Sibur is a group, a community. Why? Because these offerings promoted a sense of community and harmony, so Hashem considered them to be just like a Karban Sibur. They had the public interest in mind. We live in a world where the need to not only keep up with the Joneses, so to speak, that's the expression that they use, but surpass the Joneses breeds a lot of ill feeling, envy, and stress. Torah educators exhort us time and again to keep our children's celebrations, from birthday parties to weddings, modest, so that no one else feels he has to match or outdo them. And that's a problem in our world today. You see all these glitzy, glamorous people have a lot of money and they want to show off, and that's not really appropriate, really, to do that. And then there's a lot of things that get thrown out food-wise, and that it's not allowed either. Baltashas, a throwaway thing. So, there's many different issues why that's important. So the reason for modesty in Judaism is not only to protect ourselves, it is to protect others. We determine what a Torah lifestyle and standard of living is, and if we raise that standard, we're inadvertently tempting others to follow suit whether or not they can afford to. So that's the problem, is when you have people who can't afford it, they feel like, I have to measure up to so-and-so, so that's not a good thing either. So let us keep our ostentatious behavior to a minimum and our Ahavas Yisroel to a maximum. So that's the idea for the second half of the title. So what's so important is, why do you think, that's what I think in, let's say, for example, schools today, even not non-Jewish schools, where they have uniforms, so that everyone dresses uniformly, so that you don't have jealousy, and this one has fancier clothes than that one, and what kind of, this you're wearing or that you're wearing. So I think that's a good thing. When I was growing up, they didn't have that, but I think it's a good idea, so there's no, anyone thinking that they have to, dress a certain way to, to their standard, and then the other people can't afford it. So, and the same thing with your clothes. Like, for example, what I'm wearing now, I usually wear something nice for the video, but that's for my Shabbat clothes or for my Yom Tov clothes. So it's nicer, and, you can be a little more, extravagant to a point, not too much for that, and, wear some jewelry, but you don't still want to go overboard. You want to keep it, refined, nice, and also modest, of course, because you're supposed to make it's a more holy time, it's a more pleasurable time, so you don't want to have your weekday clothes be the same as your holiday or Shabbat clothes, because you want to distinguish between the two, because there is a distinction between those two times. So I think that's important to keep in mind, that having things uniform, the same, like wearing a uniform, is more helpful to keep things so that people are not going overboard on what they're doing. So we have to remember that that's very important in the long run, that we're all united like that together, so we can all merit to live and see the coming of Mashiach speedily in our days, and the rebuilding of our final and everlasting Beis HaMikdash. Amen, and thanks for watching.